you doing?
Good.
Everyone good?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, fire away.
Cool. Coach, this week, obviously sort of the week in between things here. What's sort of your biggest goals, with the team this week in terms of preparation?
But right now it's just we getting some rest, which we did, and then getting back to competitive practices. I thought we had a great practice today. So it's just keeping them at game speed, but just trying to get all the distractions out of the way this week. All the tickets taken care of, all the all the travel arrangements taken care of, and so come Saturday, it's all all that stuff's behind us, and when we can really zone in.
What in terms of the intensity in practice, do you like seeing? It seemed like the guys were really loose out there, as focused, but also loose and really enjoying the moment. Would you say that? Do you like seeing that out of the guys?
Yeah, I mean they've done that quite a bit this year. I think this is a pretty tight group of kids, so they I think they generally have fun coming down to the rink every day. And but yeah, I mean I think they're excited. They're excited to get playing. They're excited for this moment coming up, and and I think they're feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
It's sort of been a whirlwind this week, I'm sure, with winning in Providence and then getting ready and having the excitement of the Frozen Four. What's the support been like around the community, around campus, around alumni? I mean, what's it been like?
Well, it took me 2 days just to catch up with my emails and texts. So I imagine it was probably the same for the guys. But yeah, I mean I think it's been great. I think a lot of people are excited, just as excited as the guys are that we've made the Frozen Four. And the big thing we've told the guys though is every time someone pats you on the back or every time someone compliments you, all I want you to think about is there's 2 more games left. There's 2 more games left. The job's not done. And that's that's the frame of mind we have to have, is that this is a business trip, and just like every other weekend of hockey, and we have to have our focus and we have to have our edge.
Coach, what do you know about Omaha so far, and having some guys that have played at the Garden before, is that an advantage for you guys?
I think it will be a little bit of an advantage, just from the fact of we're not going to step on the ice when the building's full and it feel completely different. So I think that's an advantage. And Omaha, I mean, they have very good forwards, very fast, a lot of team speed. Their penalty kill is pretty good. Their goaltender's very good.
How important is John Gillies to your team, both on the ice and as a teammate?
Well, I think you don't win this time of year or had the success that our program's had over the past 3 years without a very good goaltender. And Johnny's our guy. He's our rock. He's been a guy that has kind of held the fort down now for 3 years, and he's had a lot of success. I know he's set some school records, and but above all, I mean, I think when he's on his game, he's one of the elite goalers in the nation. But I know Omaha has the goaltender in the nation that has the highest save percentage. So I think we're going to be seeing another elite goaltender. So I think going into the game, it's going to be a terrific goaltender matchup.
The fact that he's not in the running for the Hobie Baker or the Mike Richter, what do you think about that, and can that give him a mental edge, feeling disrespected?
Well, I mean, you don't control that voting. Every coach gets one vote. You can't vote for your own players. So, yes, I was disappointed that John didn't make the Hobie Baker top 10 or the Mike Richter Award finalists or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you don't control those things. And there's some great candidates in there for the Hobie Baker Award and the Mike Richter Award. So, you gotta pat those guys on the back and congratulate those guys that are up for that award. I can't tell you this: if I had a big game, which I have a big game on Thursday, the guy I want the Nets, John Gillies.
You're up for the Penrose Award. What does that mean to you? You won it in 2011, right?
Yeah, it's just I think it's a reflection of your team. It's a reflection of the players that you have. I think that's the biggest reflection. because you're not a good coach if you don't have great players. I can tell you that.
Coach, 2 games in the regional, 1 game, 12 combined goals, and then you gave up 1 goal in the second game. 2 kind of different style of games. Was it beneficial to you to win in 2 different ways, so to speak, or does it not matter?
I think it's beneficial. I think we've done that throughout the year. I think the other big thing about the second game is we won it on specialty teams. Our power play got us 2 goals there. So I think it's very important to be multidimensional, because as you continue to move on, it gets tougher and tougher to score. And you have to defend really well. And the fact that we put 2 in on the power play gives us some confidence on the power play that we can go in and do well in a big game.
And obviously you guys have had some success, some big success the last couple of seasons. For somebody not from the area, is Providence a hockey school or a basketball school?
I think it's both. Yeah, I think it's both. I think that's I think, obviously I think I came in 1 month after Ed Cooley, and I've seen what he's done with the basketball program. I think it's outstanding. I think he's one of the best coaches in the nation. He was texting me all weekend. When he was out at the NCAAs, I was texting him all weekend. So it's a situation where I think the school says they want to be great at both. And you look at any big time athletic school, and they want to be great at all their sports. Whether it be Louisville or whether it be Michigan or whether it be any Big Ten school, we want to be good at football, we want to be good at basketball, we want to be good at hockey, we want to be good at everything. So, our school wants to be great at both.
Nate, I know you like to deflect a lot of the credit, but you know how hard it is to build a program. You built up Union, you built up Providence now. How does it feel to be one of, I think, 16 coaches to take 2 different schools to the NCAA? That's a pretty exclusive group.
You gotta have good players, Jocko. It means we've had good. We got some great players at Union. I thought that recruiting class. I thought my last year that freshman class that was there, my last year at Union, that was an amazing recruiting class. We every one of those guys was an impact player, and I think I think the same thing here. I think when coming to Providence here, we were able to get some guys in that first summer, like Ross and Demopoulos, and unfortunately we lost Drew Brown, because of the cancer. But that you flip it around, that class, our first big class, there's a lot of good players in that class, and I think it's more of a credit to the players, I think you got to give some credit to Timmy Army too. I mean, Timmy and their staff, they recruited Nola Chari, they recruited Shane Luke, and those 2 guys have been really good players for us.
Coach, just one more out of curiosity. I think it was the 3rd goal against Denver. At the time, it felt like the game was in hand, and the bench kind of erupted, and I saw you behind everybody. I didn't know what you were. Can you tell us what you were saying?
I was just trying to get them to calm down, because they were kind of exploding there.
Yeah.
They were really fired up at that moment. And if there's 20 seconds left, if there's 30 seconds left, all right, but there's a lot of time left. There's 1:33 left, and considering what had happened to us the night before, where Miami had 3 empty net goals, I was just trying to make sure the guys stayed focused. So I was just trying to settle them down a little bit. I don't think it worked though. Unfortunately, we were able to go out and get the next empty netter too. So when they got that next empty netter, I allowed them to kind of celebrate. Or
I've never seen you angrier. That was.
I was just trying to get them calmed down. I was just. That was it. I think there was 1:33 on the clock. That was the same amount of time when Miami got that their 5th goal against us. So 1:33 is still a lot of time in a hockey game. They pull the goalie, they get one, and so.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Coach.